some noise for Pete Giffen!
Hello, hello, hello. How are we all doing? We all having a good night so far? Good to hear, good to hear. Guys, before we get started, tell you a wee bit about myself. My name is Pete, and I'm from Ireland, and I've been doing stand-up comedy for a couple of years now. And when I started doing stand-up comedy, some of my friends and family asked me, they were like, Pete, what made you get into stand-up comedy? And to be honest with you, I just wasn't quite sure if there was enough straight white men getting attention. I took a look at the comedians of the UK and Ireland, and I went to myself, do you know what we need? Do you know what we really, really need? Another overweight bald guy with a shit beard. I look like if someone tried to draw Carl from memory. Now, granted, Tracy would probably be the person who did the drawing. Carl, you're a sexy bastard, I like you, man. If me and Carl stood beside each other, we'd look like the worst before and after photo for Weight Watchers. But I just want to say I'm actually very grateful to be here tonight. I'm very, very grateful to be here tonight. I recently recovered from a very serious injury. At the end of last year, I ruptured my patellar tendon, which is like a fancy way of saying that I broke my knee. And I was in a full leg brace for 3 months. I had to learn to walk again, and I now walk with a bit of a limp. And I think the worst thing about that whole process was that when people seen me, they didn't assume I was disabled. They just assumed that I owed some money to a drug dealer. And I'd love to sit here and tell you that I broke my knee in a cool way, like, which was a real interesting, heroic, brave story. Like, I love to tell you that I seen like a burglar stealing an old woman's purse, and I chased after him, real brave, wrestled him to the ground and injured myself in the process. I'd love to say that's what happened, but the reality of the situation is, I was playing five-a-side football and I moved too quickly. And I genuinely was in a full leg brace for 3 months. And when I say a full leg brace, I mean a full leg brace. This thing was from like the bottom of my ankle to the top of my thighs. And like you can see me, I've got quite big legs, you know. You have to get up at 5 in the morning to feed my calves. Okay, we have farmers in England. And my girlfriend and my mum had to take turns looking after me because I couldn't do anything for myself. I couldn't even stand up. And I actually got quite awkward because my girlfriend and my mum had to take turns, bring me to the bathroom, help me go to the toilet, and inevitably, they seen everything, right? Okay. Now, I'm not afraid to admit this because I don't know if it was the trauma of the injury, trauma of the surgery, or if it was like a side effect from the strong painkillers I was taking. See, for the first couple of weeks of my recovery, I'd hold my hand up, my dick was fucking tiny, right? My dick was useless, right? See, for the first couple of weeks of my recovery, my dick looked like Joe Biden. Just shriveled up, grey and confused. Poor thing didn't know what was going on. I lost 2 inches in length. Now you're looking at me going, that's not a big deal. Well mate, see when your starting length is 4, fucking is a big deal. Put it this way, I'm not starting an OnlyFans anytime soon. Now this might sound strange, but I actually didn't mind my girlfriend seeing my dick in that condition. Because I knew it wasn't that long ago that she seen it in its prime. Do you know what I mean? Sort of like a football fan watching Ronaldo playing Saudi Arabia. It's like, you know it's a step down, but you remember the glory days? My girlfriend remembers my dick banging them in for Real Madrid in the Champions League final. But people of Liverpool, my mum hadn't seen my dick in 28 years. For all I know, my mum might not see my dick for another 28 years. Call me weird, but I didn't want my mum's last memory of my cock to be smaller now than it was the day I was born. I don't want my mum walking around thinking my penis grows in reverse. No mother deserves to think that their child's got a Benjamin Button cock. No, these guys seem like a nice audience. Just mind if I ask you a personal question? Yeah? No. Okay. Has anyone here ever heard of the phrase post-nut clarity? Yeah, okay. Give me a wee cheer if you've heard of post-nut clarity. Okay, thank you for being honest. The majority are all lying bastards. If anyone here genuinely doesn't know what post-nut clarity is, I'll explain it to you, okay? I'll explain it in a nice way. Do you know when you're having a wee bit of alone time? a wee bit of special me time between you, your laptop, and your search history. You know what I mean, Louis? Maybe your wife goes off for the day, maybe you still live at home with your mum and dad, maybe they go to Tesco's for an hour. You get that wee bit of special alone time. Post-nut clarity is that overwhelming feeling of like guilt and shame that overcomes you when the deed is done, right? Do you know one of them ones where maybe you've had a few drinks the night before, you're a wee bit hungover, you start searching for some mad risque stuff you never normally would? Do you know one of them ones where like you have to close the laptop down and sit in a different room because you just can't bear to look at it? You know one of them ones you have to get into your shower to wash yourself for your sins with your clothes on? See that feeling, Louis? That's the same feeling I get after ordering a takeaway. I get post-kebab clarity. Because I lose the run of myself in the exact same way. I start ordering like dips and side orders you never normally would get. End up getting like a king kebab, garlic bread, cheesy gravy chip, this whole big mountain of food. And when it arrives and I've finished eating it all, I'm lying there busted, watching myself in the mirror, just looking back at my reflection, out of breath, topless, sweating, covered in garlic mayonnaise, doner kebab meat lying all over the bedroom, only the light of my phone reflecting off my face in the darkness. Do you know one of them ones that's so bad you have to clear your browsing history on Just Eat? That's when you know you've fucked it. You have to delete all the dirty text messages you were sending the delivery driver. Oh, I can't wait for you to get here, baby. The things I'm gonna do to you. I bet you taste so good. I had all these grand plans that the takeaway would last all night. You would eat it for hours and hours, Lou. You would eat it in all different positions. But in reality, you take 3 bites, last 30 seconds, and get premature kebabulation. It's such a shite punchline to that bit, isn't it? Like? Guys, I haven't got much time left, so what I'm going to do to finish up is I want to tell you a story. This is something that genuinely happened to me, and I've been too embarrassed to tell this on stage. But my mates dared me to do it for a New Year's resolution, so I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to do it in a different country while I'm here on a trip. He's up enough for that, yeah? Right, so I'm going to finish up by telling you the time that I took too many weed edibles, thought I was Dan, and had to phone 999 on myself. Now, before I tell this story, spoiler alert, it is as pathetic as it sounds. So I got this drug dealer's Snapchat details. Because you know that's where all good business transactions start. And I went and met this guy who made his own weed chocolate bars in a car park in West Belfast, right? Now, in hindsight, that probably should have been the first red flag, you know? If your drug dealer is a chavvy roadman Willy Wonka, it's probably not going to go to plan. And I made the classic mistake of eating a wee bit of the edibles, feeling pretty good, feeling pretty confident about myself, deciding to eat some more. And then my brain went to fucking Mars, right? I started freaking out, like proper whitey. And now, if anyone here, like, what annoyed me the most about that was I used to be a bit of a partier, right? I used to go out every weekend, right, you know? Like coke, cat pills, MDMA, you name it, right? And of all the drugs I've taken in my lifetime, it was a bar of Galaxy Caramel and hospitalized me. Like, that didn't seem fair. And if anyone here has ever overdosed on edibles before, you know what it's like. It's an awful feeling. It feels like your body's having a slow motion battle with itself. You start breathing real heavily, you're like, start blinking like fuck. Just sitting in your living room, freaking out. Taking screenshots of your own life. Staring at the same packet of cereal for 45 minutes. Because you're too paranoid to open it. I think Tony the Tiger's talking about me behind my back. It's an awful feeling, it's fucking dynamite, right? Like, it feels like you're at a surprise party that nobody invited you to. Everything like terrifies you, like what the fuck was that there? You don't know how to phone 999 or apologise to your furniture, it's awful. So I was like, right, I need to snap myself out of this. So I thought, right, you know what I'll do? I'll look at myself in the mirror. Carl knows this is a bad idea. I thought if I seen my own reflection, I'd recognise who I was and I would snap out of it. But I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, who the fuck's that cunt? Then he's boys invite him, who the fuck's that there? So he's like, right, I'm getting it tight here, I'm going down the rabbit hole, I need to do something drastic. So I was like, right, I'm going to phone 999, alright? Now, I phone 999 and your woman goes, hello 999, what's your emergency? Now in hindsight, I probably should have worded this a wee bit better. But when she said 999, what's your emergency? I said, I'm overdosing on drugs. And she went, it's okay son, calm down, just tell me what happened, did you inject it? I was like, no, I had it. She's like, what do you mean, you had pills? I was like, no, I had chocolate. And she's like, what do you mean, son? I was like, I had weed chocolate. And Liverpool, I have never heard someone's tone of voice change so quickly. She went from like real motherly concern, oh my god, son, are you okay? To you're a fucking gimp. Quit wasting NHS time. So she politely had to explain to me, this isn't like a medical emergency, like we can get you fucking, we can get you someone to come out, but it's going to take 3 hours. So I was like, right, okay. Hung up, made the second mistake of the night, phoned my mum and dad, right? 2 in the morning, I ring my mum and dad, they answer, Pete, it's 2 in the morning, is everything okay? I can see and smell colours. They were like, what? I was like, why does Winnie the Pooh wear a t-shirt but no trousers? Who is this? Is this a prank phone call? It's like, I'm overdosing on drugs. So they sped round to the house. Now luckily they have like a spare key to my house. They have a spare key, so they were able to let themselves in. Like, God love them, what did they think they were going to find? They probably thought I was going to be lying there with needles sticking out of my neck, foaming at the mouth. But what they did find was just me in a pair of Rick and Morty pyjamas staring at a wall, covered in crumbs. We're like, what's wrong with you? He's like, took too many weed edibles. We're like, we fucking raised the bitch. We're like, right, come on, we take you to A&E, come on. We 2 puffs, Pete, can't hack the crack, come on here. Come on, Pete Doherty, big man, come on. So we went over to A&E, I signed myself into A&E, right? Waiting in the waiting room. Sitting there waiting in the waiting room, 2 in the morning, the inevitable happens. I vomited everywhere. Now if you're ever in that position, that's a good thing to happen. Once you vomit, you start to sober up. So I'm sitting there, worst moment of my life, 2 in the morning, Belfast A&E, covered in vomit, freezing, Rick and Morty pyjamas. My mum's rubbed me on the back going, go on ahead, get it up now, brave, go on ahead. My wee brave soldier, get it up, come on. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you on this. It was at that moment I realised the paramedic sitting beside me was a guy I used to go to school with. And he thought this would be a perfect opportunity to start and make small talk. So I'm sitting there in the depths of hell and this guy's all, you working away, aye? Hey, I've got you on Facebook, you're doing well, the old comedy, aren't you? And I was like, yes mate, my life's going brilliantly. And ladies and gentlemen, I came to the conclusion that night, that's the worst rock and roll drug story ever, you know? Jimi Hendrix took so much drugs, he choked on his own vomit and died. Kurt Cobain took so many drugs, he blew his own head off with a shotgun. I took so many drugs, I had the worst school reunion ever, I'm being prepared. Guys, I'm Pete Giffen, have a great day, thank you.